They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days. What?
So after the situation at TwitchCon, Emiru came forward with a statement and she did go live and talk about some things, and as bad as the situation already was, it actually got worse. Before we dive into the live stream clip, I want to pull up her statement on Twitter. It's a long one, so I'm not going to read all of it. You guys can pause it and read through it, but the quickest breakdown I can give you is that the guy tried to kiss her. Thankfully, he didn't, but what upset her the most was how Twitch handled it, because they didn't have any security to stop him from coming forward, and the few security that were there didn't even intervene. The one that we saw in the video push him out of the way was her own security guard. And then the guy just walks off past TwitchCon security and nobody did anything. Apparently, some of them even laughed and then just changed the subject because they're like, oh, we didn't even see what happened. And then when she was brought to the back, the woman that brought her to the back in the clip, I thought was somebody from TwitchCon. It was her own manager, and the only people that made sure she was okay was her manager and her manager's friend. TwitchCon staff didn't even go back to make sure that everything was all right. They didn't check on her. They didn't apprehend the guy. They didn't do anything that they said or that they should be doing. I just can't believe that some shit like this actually happens. Like, you're Twitch. You're supposed to be the premier streaming platform. That's how you guys promote yourself. And yet you have no venue security that are doing anything but just standing around. You're not checking on your streamers that are bringing you in millions of dollars to see if they're okay after a fan that you guys let walk through, assaulted her, tried to kiss her, and then you didn't even apprehend the guy. That's absolutely, bro, this whole thing is, it's mind-numbing to me. But when I saw this clip of how easily people can get into the meet and greets, it makes sense why this happened.
We'll just scan in, and then we're meeting him up front.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did what? Yeah, you're good. Okay.
Oh, okay. Just
S-Fan. S-Fan.
we're with S-Fan's team, so we're just gonna go through this side. Thank you. Thank you.
S-Fan.
Wait, under this way.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Ma'am, this is a McDonald's.
But imagine I do it like 10 seconds later or like 5, and all of a sudden they're like, yo, what are you doing?
S-Fan's gonna hate us.
The only reason I posted the full clip is because a lot of people are saying that the guy's wristband flashing red means that they just let him walk past, even though he didn't have a legit wristband. But some other people that have been there are saying that the system means that the first person goes green, and if they have a guest, the guest goes some kind of shade of red, and that's how they get through. So it was legitimate with the bracelet and the scan and everything like that. The problem is once they got up to the meet and greet, they're just like, yo, we're part of S-Fan's teams, so we're just gonna go over to him. And they're like, oh, okay. You don't verify, you don't like check in, there's no walkie-talkies like, yo, talk to S-Fan, we got some people here, they say they're part of his team, like, should we let them through? Like, there's none of that. They just were able to walk right up. So that's exactly why this happened to Emiru. There's nobody there doing any type of security. You're just standing there with a shirt on for no reason. And then we have another clip where they just let this guy walk out of TwitchCon. They claim that they apprehended him, but the clip kind of says different. So from everything I can tell is nobody did anything. They let him go, and it's only because Emiru, her manager, and her people made a big deal about it that they actually went ahead to try to find out who this guy was so they could apprehend him and bring him in for what he did. And they were also only gonna give him a 30-day ban.
I've been talking to Twitch people, and I'm really upset because I noticed a lot of negligence around the event, and I'm not happy with the way that they're handling it now. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I asked them, you know, like, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially? They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days. What? And then she's obviously like, hello? Like, that needs to be indefinite. What the f are you talking about? Also, that's like nothing to do with anything. No one gives a f if he's banned on Twitch or not. Like, we're talking about the convention here. So they change it to indefinite. Takes an hour for that to happen, by the way. These two people are the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch. Also, later the same night, I'm not gonna drop names here because I wasn't there, so I didn't see it. But I had multiple people tell me that key Twitch representatives last night were out partying.
How does this make... a 30-day ban because he showed up at TwitchCon and assaulted one of your biggest streamers. And you're like, yeah, we'll ban him from the platform for 30 days. First of all, we're not even on the platform. We're in person right now. So we need to address this like in real life, okay? And then 30 days, it makes no sense to me. I don't feel like I've been this worked up for a video in a minute. This whole entire situation is absolutely disgusting to me. I can't believe that a company at that level is going to address something like in that way. Just, it's mind-blowing. But Dan Clancy then came forward in an interview where a girl named Taylor actually, I wouldn't say pressed him, but she kind of did on the entire situation with Emiru. And I do feel like some of what he said got misunderstood. As much as I want to just throw him under the bus, I've got to be honest from, you know, a logical standpoint, but we'll talk about it after you guys see the clip.
Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday, Emiru, get assaulted by a male fan. And a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, you know, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is a top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very different. You know, when I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about, securing this environment. You know, we're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine, and so I want to see how we can support her. This is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about helping creators, but that means there's always more work to be done because that's the world we live in now.
Demi had posted earlier today that I guess this fan was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon. Why should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled. Like, you know, it is very secure, but here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things. So why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, you know, issues like this have happened?
Well, I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right? And so, you know, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any, you know, specifics or details, but part of that is working with creators and, you know, trying to find, and right now we're definitely, you know, ramping it up to make sure creators know that we have the resources there to help them figure out what's right for them.
So the part that I feel like got taken out of context was the very beginning where he's saying, as live streamers, we can control our community, you can ban people. I think what he's trying to say is when we're at our desktop, we can control stuff. We can ban people, get them out of here. It's not a problem because we can eliminate the issue. But when you're in person, it's different. So I feel like he didn't word it that great, and I don't know if anybody cut some of the context out in these clips, but based on how he's explaining things, it seems like he's trying to correlate when you're on a stream, on a desktop, you have full control. You can control your community, you can kick people out, so on and so forth. When you come to a venue, you can't necessarily do that. The part that I feel like he needs to be dragged for is everything he said after that, where, oh, we take it so seriously, and, you know, we try to work really closely with the streamers to understand what they want at the venue. Well, if you worked closely with Emiru, you'd know that she wants her normal security, that you guys banned for protecting her because your staff failed to do the job 2 years ago and clearly failed to do the job again. I feel like she should have a lawsuit potential here. I just, there's gotta be something. This is the most piss poor ran event by a company at that stature, owned by a company like Amazon, which is one of the biggest in the world. How are we not more well put together? I feel like there gotta be like some 15-year-old kid in school or something. Like, is someone just putting their son on and like, yo, yeah, you can handle this, just answer some emails and shit. Like, what is happening? There's always ways to improve security, you're right, but it's not like meet and greets have never happened before. They have been going on as long as we've had celebrities. There's red carpet events, there's all sorts of shit. You could look at any other event that handles celebrities and be like, oh, this is how they operate. And being at that level, Twitch, Amazon, you could probably reach out to all of these companies and be like, yo, how do you guys handle it when you set up the security for this? Or it's not that hard. Just get your shit together. So there's no excuse for this. None at all. So let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you in the next one, homies.